everyone, and welcome to today's session on an extremely interesting and commercially important topic in the entertainment and media industry. Let's talk about the satellite rights of television shows and films in India. So, whenever we watch a movie premiere on television or repeatedly see old television serials and films being broadcast on channels, there is an entire legal and commercial ecosystem which is functioning behind the scenes. Satellite rights today form one of the biggest revenue streams for producers, broadcasters, OTT platforms, and media houses. So, in this session, we will be discussing what exactly are satellite rights, what are the different types of uh, broadcasting rights, what is the legal framework governing satellite rights in India, copyright ownerships, agreements which are involved in the satellite licensing, exclusive and non-exclusive rights, what is the duration and territory clauses, how channels acquire film and television content, what are the landmark examples from Indian films and television serials, satellite rights and OTT conflicts, your legal disputes involving your broadcast rights. So, this session is especially if you're a law student, media professional, film producer, television writer, content creator, entertainment lawyer, or just a student who is interested in media and entertainment law. So, let's begin by just understanding what exactly does satellite rights mean. Now, satellite, it usually refers to the rights which are granted to a television broadcaster or telecast or broadcast a film, television show, or audiovisual work through satellite television networks. In simpler terms, when a producer sells a movie or a serial to a television channel for broadcasting, the producer is assigning or licensing satellite rights. For example, when movies like your Pushpa, RRR, Pathan are premiered on television channels after theatrical and OTT release, those channels have acquired satellite broadcasting rights. Similarly, television serials which are produced for broadcasters involve broadcasting rights from the very beginning. Now, satellite rights have become one of the most valuable intellectual property assets in the entertainment business. So let's talk about the legal framework governing the satellite rights in India. Now, satellite rights in India are primarily governed by the Copyright Act, your contract law principles under the Indian Contract Act, broadcasting regulations, TRI regulations, uplinking and downlinking guidelines, and intellectual property licensing principles. Under the Copyright Act, films and television shows are protected as cinematograph films. Section 14 of the Copyright Act grants the copyright owner exclusive rights, including for reproduction, distribution, communication to the public, and broadcasting. So, satellite broadcasting falls within the communication to the public. Therefore, no television channel can legally broadcast a movie or a serial without obtaining authorization from the copyright owner. Let's talk about the ownership of these satellite rights. Usually, it is the producer of the film or television show who owns the initial copyright. The producer may then either assign the rights permanently or license satellite rights for a very specific period. For example, a producer may sell exclusive satellite rights to Star India, Z Entertainment Enterprise, or Sony Pictures Network for a fixed duration. In television serials, channels often commission the serials themselves and therefore own most of the broadcasting rights directly. For example, series like Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahuti, Anupama, Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma are usually produced under agreements where the broadcasters retain the substantial rights. Let us talk about different rights in the entertainment industry. Now, specifically, while we are talking about satellite rights, there's only one category of exploitation rights. Other rights include your theatrical rights, your OTT rights, digital streaming rights, audio rights, remake rights, dubbing rights, overseas rights, airline rights, in-flight entertainment rights. And today, the producers they monetize film through these multiple rights separately. For example, a movie may have Netflix OTT rights, ZTV satellite rights, a separate YouTube clips rights, international streaming rights, and this segment maximizes the revenue. So it is not just the theaters from where the movie earns revenue. There are separate platforms for the same. Let's talk about exclusive versus non exclusive rights. Satellite rights may be exclusive rights, that is, only one broadcaster can telecast the content during the agreement period. Most channels prefer an exclusive right. It may also be non exclusive rights wherein multiple broadcasters may telecast the same content. Now, this is something that is less common for premium films but may also happen for older content libraries. For example, classic films starring Amitabh Bachchan or Rajnikant may eventually circulate across multiple channels. Now, let's talk about the important clauses in satellite rights agreement. First is the term clause. Always define what is the duration of term, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, or are you giving perpetual right. The territory clause. Now, it is important that you define what is the geographical scope. Like, will the movie be broadcast only in India? Is it worldwide? Is it South Asia? Is it Asia Pacific? Etc. Let's talk about the language right. Now, this language right, it defines whether the rights they include the Hindi version, the Tamil version, the dubbed version. What are the number of telecasts? Now, some agreements may limit the number of broadcasts. For example, a channel may have rights for 12 telecasts over 5 years. Exclusivity clause. It usually prevents from competing broadcast. Your censorship and compliance clause. Now, content, anytime it is broadcast, it has to comply with the broadcasting standards and certifications requirement. Your revenue and payment terms. You need to define the licensing fees and payment schedules. Large films often sell satellite rights worth crores of rupees. Let's talk about the satellite rights and OTT platforms in more detail. The rise of OTT platform has significantly changed the satellite rights market. Earlier, the television premieres were major events. Now, audience often watches the films first on OTT platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, or Disney Plus Hotstar. Now, this often creates a conflict which involves the window period, the exclusivity obligation, and simultaneous release issues. For example, some producers now negotiate on OTT first release, simultaneous TV and OTT rights, and delayed satellite premieres. The business model is evolving rapidly. So, with this evolving business models come the legal disputes which are related to satellite rights. Now, satellite rights often lead to dispute which involve unauthorized broadcast, copyright infringement, territorial violations, breach of exclusivity, piracy, licensing disputes. Indian courts frequently handle injunction matters involving broadcast rights. For example, a broadcaster may seek injunction against unauthorized telecast by another channel. Sports broadcasting disputes have also shaped the Indian broadcasting jurisprudence. Let's talk about the commercial importance of these satellite rights. Satellite rights are commercially very crucial because they help the producers recover production cost even before the theatrical release. In some cases, satellite and digital rights together recover a very substantial portion of the film budgets. For example, a big budget film often sells OTT rights, satellite rights, music rights before the theatrical release itself. Thus, IP monetization has now become central to the entertainment economy. So, to conclude, satellite rights are one of the most significant intellectual property and commercial assets in the Indian entertainment industry. They are governed primarily by the copyright law, contract law, and broadcasting regulations. With the rise of the OTT platforms, digital streaming, AI generated content, and evolving viewer habits, the legal and commercial framework surrounding the broadcast rights is continuously changing. For lawyers, producers, broadcasters, and content creators, understanding satellite rights is extremely important because these rights directly impact your revenue generation, your copyright ownership, licensing strategy, distribution models, entertainment business valuation. As India's entertainment industry continues to grow, globally, satellite and broadcasting rights will remain central to media law and intellectual property practice. Thank you everyone for joining this session. I hope you got a very practical insight of satellite rights in film and television shows in India. Do like and subscribe to the channel.